Let me show you why almost any result is possible in the Queensland election on Saturday. Here's the latest news poll results compared to the actual vote of the last election. As you can see, for all the praise that Palaszczuk's been getting, the Premier, for her virus response is pretty much neck and neck when you consider Greens' preferences. Labor's vote is up since the election, but the LNP's is up even more. And look at one reason for that. One Nation's support has, it seems, collapsed from 9% last time to just 2% now. And a lot of those One Nation votes, I assume, would have gone to the LNP. Joining me is the federal leader of One Nation, Senator Pauline Hanson. Pauline Hanson, it's great to catch up with you. What's happened to your vote in Queensland? You know, in 1998 you got 22%. Now Newspoll says you'll just get 2%.
It's a load of rubbish, Andrew. I think they did the polling in Southeast Corner in Brisbane, and they polled about 4 seats. We know that my supporters are not in Brisbane, and the supporters in rural and regional Queensland. I've been on the road. I've been up to the Torres Strait, Thursday Islands. I've been up all through the central Queensland. The support is very, very strong. Hoping to pick up a few seats, especially Keppel, Rockhampton, possibly Whitsundays, Cook, and Maryborough. So we've got strong support in those areas. I don't believe anything the polls say. Andrew, they do it every time prior to an election, that they actually say our support, our vote's waning, but it usually comes out about 10% more than what they say it does.
Now, you've got already 1 seat and you suggest you might get more. Thankfully, the LNP has come to its senses and dropped this stupid campaign to put One Nation last. It's preference to you over Labor. That's got to help you. If the election does go down to the wire, and it could be, you know, whichever of the major parties can form government with the support of someone else, would you help the LNP form government in Queensland?
Most definitely, Andrew, and I've actually come out and said that publicly. We will not help the Labor Party form government. The Liberal Party done a stupid thing by preferencing the Greens prior to the Labor in this election. They'll probably hand them about 3 seats. I think we're going to take a few of the Labor seats, so it could balance that out. But it will come down to the Katter Party, whether they support the Labor government with the Greens, or whether they'll support One Nation and the Katter Party to actually give government to the LNP.
What would you want from the LNP to help them form government?
Look, it'll be a matter of sitting down with the elected members of Parliament to actually discuss the main issues that's affecting Queensland. We need water security in Queensland. We need to look after the farming sector, get rid of the Native Vegetation Management Act, look at the 2050 Reef Report legislation, and we need to look after the health issues. We are under-resourced with nurses and doctors, especially in rural and regional areas, and we are top-heavy administrative, and I'd like to see the hospital boards take over control of their hospitals and give them the funding to run their own hospitals and get the administration out of it.
And what would be your bottom line for supporting them? Because obviously, you know, it's going to be haggling one. What is the absolute red line? You must get this or you won't support them.
No, I don't know. Andrew, we've got to get rid of the Labor government in Queensland. Even Peter Biddy's come out and said that Anastasia should open up the border. She's blaming the Chief Medical Officer, that she listens to her, and the Chief Medical Officer said the border should be open, we can handle COVID. Now, Anastasia has used this as a political ploy. She has not saved Queenslanders, right? And she's destroyed our economy. It's about time she went. I will not support a Labor government. None of my candidates will support a Labor government, and I've made that quite clear. Of course, the LNP need to be reined in as well, because I don't believe their policies are spot on, but we need a change of government in Queensland with a $117 billion debt. That's what's been estimated. They haven't brought a budget down. We can't afford it. We can't afford the 57,000 public servants they put on, $260 million in pay rises in last month. It is absolutely ridiculous.
Oh, look, the budget is just a nightmare, and that was before COVID hit. They were just spending like drunken sailors. Speaking about the borders, you were going to go to the High Court to force the borders open. Why did you walk away from that?
I actually set it up. I got the plaintiffs for it. It was taken up by Guy Reynolds, who then did the case. We didn't get the public support to fund the cost of taking that to proceed with it. I couldn't put the party in that position because we told it would cost about $1 million. I thought that the federal government would come to the forefront and take that challenge on. We had a far better case than what Clive Palmer did. So I got the plaintiffs. We had great plaintiffs to take it to the court, but it didn't proceed with it. I'm very disappointed because we should have had an answer by now to force the governments to open up the borders. This is one country. Even Peter Beattie said, you know, it's ridiculous keeping the borders shut. And I question this whole COVID thing, Andrew. You know, people have died with COVID, not because of it. I'd like a public inquiry into this about the actual deaths because of COVID, because we have destroyed our economy heading down this path. And we're not over it. And the whole fact is, if this happens again, we can't do the same as what we've done this time. And the government cannot keep propping up these states with the JobKeeper and JobSeeker.
Pauline Hanson, always good to catch up with you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much, Andrew.